Hola y bienvenidos a Español 101. Soy Profe Nelson. I'm Polly Nelson, and I'm looking forward to being your professor for Spanish 101 online this semester. So what I wanted to do is give you a brief overview of what you can look forward to and plan for and expect in our upcoming semester together. So sit back and relax, and this will just be a brief orientation, kind of like we would have on the first day of class, but in this mode, since we are an online course, which is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to the semester and working with all of you as you begin your Spanish studies at LFCC or continue them from elsewhere. I know we can be coming from lots of different places at this point, so I'll be excited to find out what your story is and what you're trying to accomplish through Spanish 101 online. Though one of your first assignments will be to carefully read the syllabus, the purpose of this video is to highlight a few topics. Of course, everything in the syllabus is important, or I wouldn't have put it in there. You need to make sure that you put all the dates from your syllabus on your personal calendar, especially keeping in mind our weekly due date, which is really important and will hopefully become embedded in your routine. This should help you manage your life, and I like to treat you like the adult learners that you are, and in having one weekly deadline that you can count on every week. Hopefully that can allow you to manage your time and not procrastinate and be the most successful. I'm really committed to not wasting your time or my own. Time is a valuable commodity in our lives, so everything that I've provided for you in the syllabus is essential. Make sure you read it all, and make sure you do that throughout the semester. When I provide instructions for you or content to you, make sure you read every word, because I created it. Our course did not descend from some other entity somewhere. I wrote every word of it for you myself, and I wouldn't have put it there if it weren't really important for you. In that same light, I suggest that you print out the learning modules information every week, or you can print out the assignment presentation that I share with you via the learning module every week. And that way you have a written copy of everything. You can make sure you're not skipping over anything and literally scan things over while you eat your breakfast in the morning, check it off one by one, and make sure that you don't skip over something inadvertently. Who I am, as I said, I'm Polly Nelson. You can call me Profe or Profe Nelson. That's a really common slang in Spain that I'm used to. I'm actually a native of Winchester, Virginia. But oddly, I think I was born with a Spanish soul. I absolutely love Spanish, and I did from the moment that I was exposed to it in the 8th grade. I learned Spanish as a non-native, just like many of you are doing. So I can identify with a lot of the challenges that you have and anticipate a lot of the questions that you'll have along the way. No matter what my plan was for my life, whether I wanted to go into international business or nursing or teaching elementary school and finally high school and higher ed, Spanish was always in the picture because I enjoyed it and just wanted to continue the fun. And that's what I'm doing now with you. So I'm really, really fortunate to have a career where I can share something that I love with other people. Spanish is so relevant today, whether you're traveling or within your community or in your own work. You know, people who work in grocery stores and restaurants and offices, wherever in our community, you find Spanish. So it's nice to be able to connect with other people. It really heightens our lives and makes our jobs easier too. So that's one of the things that I think is exciting about your being in this course. So personally, this is my kitchen. It's where I do a lot of my work for my online courses. I have a husband and 2 kids and 2 dogs. I speak Spanish with all of them as much as I possibly can. The language has just brought me so much satisfaction and happiness, and I hope that you're on a path for finding something like that for your own life as well. Life is full for me, and I know it is for you too as a student, so it has to be a priority for all of us to work hard and stay on schedule. I structured the course so you can plan your life and do your work very much on your own terms, as long as you keep in mind the weekly deadline, as I already mentioned. But when we're working on Spanish, when you're on Blackboard or on the super site that's associated with the text, Spanish is our priority. We need to eliminate those other distractions, make time for working well, and for working really carefully. At all times, I expect for all of us, and that includes me, to act like the professional adults that we are, with respect reigning over everything. If there's ever a problem, if there's ever an issue, the important thing is to be in communication about it, to be an adult, and to be a professional about it. And with that in mind, it's a lot easier to solve little things that might come up. Who you should be in order to be in this course. This class is a great starting point for people who took Spanish before and need a little review. The pace is rather swift since it is an online class. Of course, you're working on your own a lot of the time. Because of that, sometimes you can do what I call self-pacing. And that's really nice if you have prior experience and you're like, yeah, you know, I get this articles thing. I don't need to work for an hour and a half on articles today. Or you get the gist of the yo form of AR verbs. Then you can kind of self-pace through some of that. The important thing, though, and this is so important, is to realize when you need to buckle down and treat it as a topic from zero, to really listen to the videos and take notes like you would in a regular class, do supplemental practice, do my recommended practices before you start your homework, and that sort of thing. So that's important to be really sensitive to. At that point, you have to start really employing those good study strategies like writing down your vocabulary, doing writing practice before each test, etc. The good news is there are lots of supports in place. So whether you're an absolute beginner or you have different types of prior experience in Spanish, I teach everything from the ground up. Even though it might be quick sometimes in terms of the pace, I teach you everything. So you don't have to worry about something getting skipped over. I do it through my own lessons and practices, through the super site tutorials that I provide for you, different places that I send you online, assignments that are made. Use all of that in order to practice and feel confident and have the most success possible. I welcome questions. You can email me. I also encourage you to take advantage of the class discussion board called Dudas y Preguntas. It's found on Blackboard under discussion board. And it's a place where you can post a question. And if your peers have subscribed to that forum, which you all should, then everyone can see the question and everyone can see the answer. You get a little email when that happens. And that's a great way for us to kind of mimic the kind of conversation that would happen in a classroom if we had one. So I really encourage you to subscribe to the Dudas y Preguntas discussion board and take advantage of it. And if anything ever happens that you don't hear back from me on that, something has gone wrong, because I'm a super careful email checker and I tend to get back with people very quickly. So if you ever don't hear back from me, try again and we'll get it straightened out, because it's really a priority to me to be in good communication with you. Qualities that you should possess: very careful reading of instructions and assignment details. I mentioned that early on in this video. Reading everything, not skimming like you would some emails you might get, or Facebook or social media. You really need to read every word. Another important skill is time management. Working on Spanish one day a week will not work. It needs to be a consistent presence in your life. You really should be exposed to it and practicing it daily. Think about the time you have available, how you can eliminate distractions, taking advantage of self-motivation. Keep in mind that we will be working together in the course. There will be collaboration. This class is not an independent study. There will be times when you work with other people on projects, work with me, as I said before, always in a professional way. The workload you should anticipate: if this were a traditional face-to-face course, you'd be sitting in class for 3 hours and 20 minutes a week. And then you would go home and study and do your assignments. So it should be about the same here. So keep that in mind in dealing with your life priorities, setting your schedule, etc. It's a significant commitment. It takes time. It's a 4-credit course. So make sure your eyes are wide open about that as we get started. And I think that's helpful, just to have realistic expectations. Once the course gets underway, we will complete a lesson together on academic integrity. That's about honesty and not cheating, using the proper sources that are allowed, etc. So I'll kind of leave that topic for that time. I try not to bog you down with too much administrative stuff this first week. Believe it or not, it probably seems like you're dealing a lot with that. But in a nutshell, regarding academic honesty, I expect you to be respectful, work hard, and to do your own work. And that's the only way that you will learn. We don't use internet translators in this class because you won't have them when you go to the testing center to take your proctored midterm and final. You have to learn the information so you know it on your own, so you can generate it yourself. Furthermore, having a relative or friend or neighbor check your work for you is cheating. That is not allowed. I want to see what you can do, and then if you make mistakes, I can help you so that you can ultimately make the knowledge your own and be careful with it. I'm capable, I'm enthusiastic, I know what the needs of Spanish students are, so when you have questions, bring them to me. Don't try to outsource them to other people who might even help you in a way that's going to lead you astray. I know what the expectations are, and I'm glad to help. I'm excited for the semester and looking forward to getting to know each one of you. There are high expectations, and I will uphold them. That's my job, but you'll be doing your job of learning and questioning and digging into this content and making Spanish your own. So that's exciting, and I think that the expectations and the routine will make all of your goals completely attainable. So I'm looking forward to it. The next step for you is to log on to the course via Blackboard from the LFCC webpage. At the top right at My LFCC, you can log in, and you want to start under Learning Modules, Semana Uno, week 1, and then you'll open up that assignment presentation and start working through the assignments for Semana Uno. So, bienvenidos a todos. Looking forward to a great semester. Muchas gracias y nos vemos. Hasta luego.